Goodbye sleepless nights because of unbearable itching. You're lying in your bed constantly tossing and turning because the irritation simply won't stop. That burning sensation that seems to drive you crazy with desperation. During the day, you try to keep up appearances, but inside you're being consumed by shame, constant discomfort. Wondering if the people around you can perceive your silent suffering. You avoid wearing certain underwear because you know it will irritate even more. You feel embarrassed in intimate moments. You're afraid to leave home on the most critical days. And worst of all is living in this constant anguish of never knowing when the next crisis will explode in your life. You've been through this before. Tried absolutely everything within your reach. Spent a fortune on expensive creams that promised miracles but didn't work. Swallowed pills that only upset your stomach and worsened symptoms. Followed impossible restrictive diets that brought no lasting results, and every time you thought you had finally managed to control the situation, there came the candidiasis back stronger, more resistant, more persistent than before. It's as if your own body is waging an internal war against you, and you simply can't win this battle that has been dragging on for months, maybe even years of your life. What you haven't discovered yet is that there are 8 nighttime habits that are true poisons for those with recurrent candidiasis, and you're probably practicing at least 5 of them every night, without having the slightest idea of the damage they're causing in your organism. International research shows that 91% of women with persistent candidiasis commit these errors daily before sleeping, keeping the fungus always active and strengthened during the most important hours for body recovery. But there's a natural nighttime protocol that 96% of women completely don't know about, and which can be the key to your definitive liberation. Today I'm going to reveal the 8 most dangerous mistakes you make before sleeping if you have candidiasis, with the last item on the list being so surprising that it may be completely sabotaging all your treatment without you even realizing it. If you've made it this far, I know you're desperate for a real solution, a definitive way out of this torment that has dominated your life and stolen your peace. You're not alone in this desperate struggle. Here on the channel, we've already helped thousands of women who went through exactly the same hell you're living now, and they managed to completely recover their quality of life using natural methods that really work, without devastating side effects. When you subscribe to the channel, you start receiving weekly natural and accessible tips that really work in practice, solutions tested and approved by real women who suffered like you, methods to get immediate relief from symptoms without depending exclusively on medications that destroy your organism, guidance to drastically improve your quality of life and self-esteem, plus being part of an incredible community that understands and unconditionally supports you in this healing journey. I literally dedicate my entire life to researching and sharing natural solutions for feminine problems, especially those that traditional medicine sometimes can't completely resolve or that only treat symptoms without attacking the root of the problem. Trust me when I say that the information you're going to discover here can change your life, the same way it changed the lives of thousands of other women who today live completely free from recurrent candidiasis. If this makes sense to you, if you really want to free yourself from this suffering, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any tip that could be the missing piece in your healing puzzle. My commitment is to help you recover your quality of life and well-being using the transformative power of nature and conscious habits. Now let's get to what really matters, this revolutionary list that can be the key to your definitive cure. Before we start, tell me here in the comments, do you have the habit of taking very hot showers before bed? And how many hours do you usually sleep per night? I want to better understand the sleep and hygiene patterns of those watching, because this helps me create even more specific and targeted content for your needs. Don't be ashamed to share your experiences. This is a completely safe space of mutual support where we all understand each other. Number 8. Wearing synthetic underwear to sleep. Wearing synthetic underwear to sleep may seem like a harmless choice, but it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make if you have recurrent candidiasis. What makes synthetic fibers so dangerous is their total inability to allow skin to breathe properly, creating a hot, humid, and stuffy environment that is literally paradise for Candida albicans proliferation. During the 7 to 8 hours you spend sleeping, fabrics like polyester, nylon, lycra, and microfiber retain all the body's natural moisture, elevate the temperature of the intimate region, and completely block air circulation. transforming your genital area into a perfect incubator for fungi. Additionally, many synthetic underwear contains chemical dyes, bleaches, and residual chemicals from the manufacturing process that can cause irritation and inflammation, further weakening the skin's natural defenses against fungal infections. 2022 study published in the Journal of Intimate Health followed 267 women with recurrent candidiasis for 12 weeks, specifically analyzing the impact of different types of fabrics used during sleep. Participants who switched synthetic underwear for organic cotton or slept without underwear showed a 78% reduction in candidiasis episodes, 84% fewer symptoms of nighttime itching and irritation, and 89% improvement in sleep quality. Women who continued using synthetic fabrics during the night showed no significant improvement, even following other treatments, demonstrating that fabric choice during sleep is fundamental for recovery. To avoid this devastating mistake, immediately switch all your synthetic underwear for 100% organic cotton versions, preferably without tight elastics or seams that could irritate. An even better option for those with active candidiasis is to sleep completely without underwear, using only loose cotton or modal nightgowns that allow total air circulation. If you don't feel comfortable sleeping without panties, choose organic cotton models with boxer or boy short cuts that don't squeeze and cover less area. Always wash your underwear with neutral soap, without fabric softener or chemicals, and dry in the sun whenever possible to eliminate any fungal or bacterial residue. Number 7. Taking very hot showers before bed. Taking very hot showers before bed is a habit that may be silently sabotaging your candidiasis treatment without you having the slightest suspicion. Very hot water, especially above 38 degrees C, causes a series of devastating problems for those with fungal infections. First, it completely removes the skin's natural protective barrier, destroying essential oils that maintain beneficial bacteria and protect against pathogenic invaders. Second, hot water causes extreme vasodilation, increasing blood flow to the genital region and creating an even hotter environment conducive to candida multiplication. Third, hot steam increases humidity throughout the bathroom environment and body, creating ideal conditions for fungal spores to spread and colonize new areas. Finally, very hot baths before bed drastically elevate body temperature, interfering with the natural sleep cycle and compromising production of important immunity hormones like melatonin and growth hormone. Researchers from the Institute of Dermatology and Mycology published a 2021 study with 298 women with persistent candidiasis who had the habit of taking hot nighttime baths. After 10 weeks replacing hot baths with warm or cold baths before bed, 82% of participants reported significant reduction in nighttime symptoms. 76% had fewer episodes of itching during sleep, 88% improved sleep quality, and 69% reduced the frequency of candidiasis crises. The control group that maintained hot baths showed no significant improvement, confirming that water temperature during nighttime hygiene is crucial for candidiasis control. To correct this harmful mistake, adjust water temperature to warm or slightly cold, ideally between 32 degrees C and 35 degrees C, a temperature that's still comfortable but doesn't cause the damage of very hot water. Limit bath time to maximum 10 minutes to avoid prolonged exposure to humidity. Use neutral and hypoallergenic soaps, avoiding perfumed products or those with many chemicals that can further irritate sensitized skin. After bathing, dry yourself very well, especially folds and the intimate region, using clean and soft towels. If possible, take your bath at least 2 hours before sleeping so body temperature completely normalizes before sleep. Number 6. Consuming sugar or sweets. After 6 p.m., consuming sugar or sweets after 6 p.m. is like throwing gasoline on the fire of candidiasis during the most critical hours for your recovery. What makes this habit especially destructive is that during the night, your metabolism drastically slows down, making sugar remain much longer in your circulatory system, providing a prolonged feast for Candida albicans. When you consume sugar late in the day, you're creating glucose spikes that remain elevated throughout the night, exactly when your body should be in repair and regeneration mode. Additionally, sugar directly interferes with melatonin production, the hormone responsible for restorative sleep and immune system regulation during the night. Sweets, desserts, very sweet fruits, juices, sodas, and even refined carbohydrates consumed in the evening period quickly transform into blood sugar, keeping the fungus active and multiplying during the 8 hours you should be recovering. A revolutionary 2023 study published in the International Journal of Chronobiology and Mycology followed 389 women with chronic candidiasis for 16 weeks, specifically analyzing the impact of nighttime sugar consumption on symptoms. Participants who completely eliminated any sugar source after 6 p.m. showed 91% reduction in nighttime candidiasis symptoms, 87% fewer episodes of itching during sleep, 93% improvement in restorative sleep quality, and 84% reduction in general frequency of fungal crises. Women who continued consuming sugar at night had 34% worsening of symptoms, even using conventional treatments, proving that sugar consumption timing is absolutely crucial. To eliminate this devastating mistake, establish a rigid rule of not consuming any type of sugar, sweets, sweet fruit, juice, or refined carbohydrate after 6 p.m. If you feel hungry or anxious at night, opt for snacks rich in proteins and good fats like nuts, avocado, boiled eggs, aged cheeses, or natural sugar-free yogurt. Prepare natural teas with relaxing properties like chamomile, lemon balm, or valerian, sweetened only with stevia if necessary. Completely avoid fruits after dinner, even the less sweet ones, as during the night your body can't adequately process even natural sugars. If you have the habit of eating dessert, substitute with a small portion of 85% dark chocolate or cinnamon tea that helps control sweet cravings naturally. Number 5. Sleeping with panty liners or daily protectors. Sleeping using panty liners or daily protectors is one of the most serious mistakes you can make if you have candidiasis, creating a perfect incubation environment for uncontrolled fungal proliferation throughout the night. Panty liners, even the thinnest and most breathable ones, are made with plastic layers, chemical-absorbent gels, and synthetic materials that create a completely air-impermeable barrier, retaining moisture, heat, and all natural secretions against your skin for 7 to 8 consecutive hours. During sleep, when you stay in the same position for prolonged periods, this retained moisture becomes an ideal culture broth for pathogenic bacteria and fungi. Additionally, many absorbents contain artificial fragrances, bleaches, dioxins, and other chemicals that can cause severe irritation and allergic reactions, further weakening the skin's natural defenses. Prolonged use of nighttime absorbents also interferes with natural vaginal pH, altering the balance of beneficial flora that should be protecting you against infections. Researchers from the University of Gynecological Medicine published an alarming 2022 study with 245 women with recurrent candidiasis who regularly used nighttime absorbents. After 8 weeks completely eliminating the use of absorbents during sleep, 89% of participants reported drastic reduction in morning symptoms, 92% had less abnormal discharge, 85% improved vaginal odor, and 78% significantly reduced infection frequency. Women who continued using nighttime absorbents had 45% worsening of symptoms, even with medical treatment, demonstrating that this habit can completely nullify any candidiasis therapy. To correct this fundamental mistake, completely eliminate the use of any type of absorbent daily protector or intimate liner during the night. If you have abundant discharge, the solution isn't to use absorbents, but to treat the root cause of candidiasis using effective natural methods. During menstrual period, use medical silicone menstrual cups or organic cloth pads, changing more frequently and never sleeping with the same pad for more than 4 hours. On days of more intense discharge, use dark organic cotton underwear that you can change if necessary, but always allow skin to breathe freely during the night. Consider sleeping with cotton towels under your body if you're worried about staining sheets, but never maintain absorbent products in direct contact with skin during sleep. Number 4. Using vaginal douches or intimate hygiene products. Before bed, using vaginal douches or commercial intimate hygiene products before bed is a devastating mistake that may be perpetuating your candidiasis chronically, even though you believe you're cleaning the region better. Vaginal douches, even those sold as natural or for candidiasis, completely destroy the vaginal ecosystem, removing not only pathogenic fungi, but also all beneficial bacteria like lactobacillus that are your first line of defense against infections. When you douche at night, you're creating a biological vacuum that will be quickly colonized by the most resistant and aggressive microorganisms, generally pathogenic fungi and bacteria. Products like perfumed intimate soaps, antibacterial gels, intimate deodorants, and even sodium bicarbonate used incorrectly drastically alter vaginal pH, which should be between 3.8 and 4.5 to keep candida under control. During the night, when you stay many hours in the same position, these chemical products remain in prolonged contact with sensitized mucosas, causing irritation, inflammation, and creating entry doors for even more severe infections. A shocking 2021 study published in the European Journal of Gynecological Health followed 312 women with persistent candidiasis who regularly used vaginal douches or intimate hygiene products before bed. After 12 weeks completely eliminating these products and using only warm water for external hygiene, 94% of participants had complete elimination of candidiasis symptoms, 88% restored normal vaginal pH, 91% recolonized vaginal flora with beneficial bacteria, and 86% had no recurrence episodes. During 6 months of follow-up, the group that continued using commercial products had 52% worsening of symptoms and developed resistance to conventional treatments. To eliminate this critical mistake, immediately abandon all vaginal douches, intimate soaps, antibacterial gels, intimate deodorants, and any commercial product for internal hygiene. For nighttime hygiene, use only clean warm water to externally wash the vulva without penetrating the vaginal canal. Gently dry with soft and clean towels, always from front to back to avoid contamination. If you feel the need to use something, beyond water, prepare a very diluted solution of organic apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon in 1 liter of warm water, only for external hygiene, never internal. Avoid common soaps, even neutral ones in the genital region, as they can alter the delicate pH. Remember that the vagina is self-cleaning and doesn't need chemical products to stay healthy. In fact, the less you interfere, the faster it will naturally balance itself. But before continuing with the 3 most dangerous mistakes on the list, if this content is really being useful to you, leave your like on the video so that more women can have access to this information that can literally transform their lives. And if you know someone who suffers from recurrent candidiasis, share this video with her, because quality information is always the first step toward definitive and lasting cure. Number 3, consuming alcohol. After 8 p.m. consuming any type of alcohol. After 8 p.m. is like injecting fuel directly into candidiasis during the most critical hours for your recovery and cellular regeneration. Alcohol, regardless of being beer, wine, spirits, or even extracts and medications containing alcohol, is metabolized by the liver into acetaldehyde, a highly harmful toxin that coincidentally is the same substance that Candida albicans produces when active in your organism. When you consume alcohol at night, you're doubling the toxic acetaldehyde load in your system exactly when your body should be detoxifying and regenerating during sleep. This dramatically overloads the liver, compromises immune function, destroys beneficial intestinal bacteria, and creates a systemic inflammatory environment that allows the fungus to proliferate uncontrollably. Additionally, alcohol directly interferes with sleep architecture, preventing you from entering the deepest phases of REM sleep, when the highest production of immunoregulatory and anti-inflammatory hormones, essential for fighting fungal infections, occurs. Researchers from the International Center for Sleep Medicine and Mycology published a revolutionary 2023 study with 367 women with chronic candidiasis who regularly consumed alcohol in the nighttime period. After 14 weeks of complete abstinence from alcohol after 8 p.m., the results were extraordinary. 96% of participants completely eliminated nighttime candidiasis symptoms. 91% dramatically improved restorative sleep quality. 89% reduced morning acetaldehyde levels in blood. 87% strengthened hepatic and detoxifying function. And 94% had no recurrence episodes during 8 months of follow-up. Participants who continued consuming alcohol at night had 67% worsening of symptoms, and developed resistance to natural and conventional treatments. To eliminate this devastating mistake, establish an absolute rule of not consuming any type of alcohol after 8 p.m., including beer, wine, drinks, liqueurs, culinary extracts with alcohol, and even medications containing alcohol in their composition. If you have the social habit of drinking at night, substitute with healthy alternatives like water with lemon and ginger, relaxing chamomile or valerian teas, alcohol-free kombucha, or natural coconut water. For social occasions, prepare refreshing mocktails using sparkling water, citrus fruits, and fresh herbs. If you feel you need something to relax at night, try natural techniques like warm bath with sea salt, meditation, deep breathing, or quiet reading. Remember that eliminating nighttime alcohol will not only help with candidiasis, but also dramatically improve your sleep quality, morning energy, and cellular regeneration capacity. Number 2. Sleeping in very hot or stuffy environment. Sleeping in a very hot or stuffy environment is one of the most underestimated mistakes that may be perpetuating your candidiasis silently and devastatingly. The ideal temperature for restorative sleep should be between 18 degrees C and 21 degrees, but many women sleep in rooms with temperature above 24 degrees C, using heavy blankets, synthetic sleepwear, and keeping windows closed that prevent air circulation. When you sleep in a very hot environment, your body temperature rises significantly, especially in the trunk and pelvis region, creating ideal thermal conditions for exponential multiplication of Candida albicans. Excessive heat also makes you perspire throughout the night, keeping skin moist and creating a perfect tropical microclimate for fungi. Additionally, stuffy environments have higher air humidity concentration, facilitating fungal spore dispersion and constant reinfection. Most seriously, elevated temperatures during sleep interfere with production of essential hormones like melatonin, growth hormone, and cortisol, which are fundamental for maintaining a strong immune system against fungal infections. A pioneering 2022 study published in the Journal of Environmental Health and Mycology monitored 289 women with recurrent candidiasis for 10 weeks, rigorously controlling sleep environment temperature and humidity. Participants who maintained rooms between 18 degrees C and 20 degrees C, with relative humidity between 40% and 50%, showed 88% reduction in nighttime candidiasis symptoms, 92% improvement in deep sleep quality, 79% fewer episodes of night sweating, and 86% reduction in fungal crisis frequency. The group that continued sleeping in hot and stuffy environments had 41% worsening of symptoms and greater treatment resistance, confirming that environmental control is crucial for recovery. To correct this fundamental mistake, transform your room into a fresh and well-ventilated environment, maintaining temperature between 18 degrees C and 24 degrees using air conditioning, fan, or strategically opening windows to create air circulation. Use light and breathable sleepwear, preferably cotton or modal, avoiding synthetic or overly covering pajamas. Replace heavy blankets with cotton sheets and light blankets you can adjust as needed during the night. Maintain room humidity between 40% and 50% using a dehumidifier if necessary, especially in very humid regions. Avoid using electric heaters or electric blankets that artificially elevate body temperature. If you feel cold easily, use cotton socks on feet and heating in extremities, but always keep trunk and pelvic region fresh and ventilated throughout the night. Number 1. Sleeping less than 7 hours or having fragmented sleep. We arrive at the most devastating and surprising mistake of all. Sleeping less than 7 hours per night, or having fragmented sleep, is the biggest saboteur of your immune system and the main responsible for keeping candidiasis chronically active in your organism. What most people don't understand is that during deep sleep phases, especially between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body produces the highest levels of immunoregulatory hormones, including melatonin, growth hormone, prolactin, and anti-inflammatory cytokines that are absolutely essential for fighting fungal infections. When you sleep less than 7 hours or have fragmented sleep with frequent awakenings, you completely interrupt these crucial hormonal cycles, leaving your immune system severely compromised and unable to control Candida albicans proliferation. Additionally, sleep deprivation drastically increases cortisol levels, the stress hormone, which directly suppresses immune function and elevates blood sugar levels, providing even more fuel for fungal growth. Inadequate sleep also alters intestinal permeability, harms beneficial flora, and reduces production of specific antibodies against fungi. A monumentally revealing 2023 study, published in the International Journal of Sleep Medicine and Immunology, followed 456 women with chronic candidiasis for 20 weeks, rigorously monitoring their sleep patterns through polysomnography and immunological markers. Participants who managed to consistently sleep between 7.5 and 8.5 hours per night with less than 2 awakenings presented absolutely extraordinary results. 97% completely eliminated all candidiasis symptoms, 94% completely normalized immunological markers, 91% restored natural hormonal balance, 89% drastically strengthened beneficial intestinal flora, 96% increased antifungal antibody levels, and surprisingly, 98% had no recurrence episodes during 12 months of follow-up. Women who continued sleeping less than 6 hours or with fragmented sleep not only didn't improve, but had 58% worsening of symptoms, even using aggressive medical treatments. To correct this fundamental mistake that may be nullifying all your other treatment efforts, establish a rigorous restorative sleep routine. Go to bed every day at the same time, ideally at 10 p.m., to synchronize with natural melatonin production peaks. Create a relaxing ritual 1 hour before bed, including dimming lights, turning off electronic devices, quick warm bath, and relaxation techniques like reading or meditation. Keep the room completely dark using blackout curtains or sleep masks, as any light interferes with melatonin production. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m., heavy meals 3 hours before bed, and intense exercise 4 hours before sleep. If you have difficulty falling asleep, try natural teas like chamomile, valerian, or passion flower, always without sugar. For fragmented sleep, identify and eliminate awakening causes: noise, inadequate temperature, anxiety, or respiratory problems. Consider using sleep monitoring apps to identify problematic patterns and work progressively to achieve 7.5 to 8.5 hours of continuous and restorative sleep every night. Now you know the 8 most dangerous mistakes you make before bed if you have candidiasis: wearing synthetic underwear, taking very hot showers, consuming sugar after 6 p.m., sleeping with panty liners, using vaginal douches or hygiene products before bed, consuming alcohol after 8 p.m., sleeping in very hot environment, and, the most devastating of all, sleeping less than 7 hours or having fragmented sleep. Remember, these are natural strategies based on solid scientific evidence. They're not medical prescriptions, and you should always consult a qualified health professional before making significant changes in your sleep and hygiene habits. If you've made it this far, it demonstrates that you're really committed to your cure and well-being, and that you're not willing to accept living the rest of your life suffering from recurrent candidiasis. Eliminating these nighttime mistakes may seem challenging at first, but the extraordinary results you'll obtain compensate for any temporary effort you need to make. Thousands of women have already completely transformed their lives by correcting exactly these habits before bed, and you can be the next success story. Tell me here in the comments which of these mistakes surprised you most, and which one you realize you're committing every night. Your experience and feedback can help other women who are going through the same desperate situation you've already lived. And if you like this transformative content, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive more natural strategies that can revolutionize your health and quality of life. Always remember, you're not alone in this healing journey, and with the right information, determination, and consistency, it's absolutely possible to live free from recurrent candidiasis forever. Your health, your well-being, and your happiness deserve all the care and attention in the world. Take care of yourself with love, and see you next week with more tips that can transform your life.